I painted this for you, Alex.
Oh my goodness!
What do you think?
Oh, it's amazing.
Thank you.
So much.
There is a shirt, black cotton, priced at $42, with a name printed across the back in the simple typeface Nike has used on countless tennis products over the years. The name is Alex Eala, with smaller lettering underneath, followed by the three words Nike has built an empire around. Just do it. The product code is JU4850-010. And according to the product details being discussed around the US Open, the shirt quickly disappeared from the shelves, with sizes becoming unavailable almost immediately. Nike had given Alex Eala something far more significant than a billboard, her own retail merchandise. And it happened remarkably quickly. That is the fact the story is really about, and it is not necessarily the fact you have been hearing about all week. If you have been scrolling through Filipino tennis communities, you have probably seen the Times Square billboards, the massive digital displays featuring Alex, or photographs of her likeness appearing across New York City buses. Fans have been posting pictures from Manhattan sidewalks with captions like, "Look up." That is a story. It is a powerful story about a country and a diaspora rallying around an athlete. The Filipino community has shown extraordinary support for Alex Eala through both her breakthroughs and her difficult moments. But it is not the biggest story about Alex this week. The bigger story is quieter, and it is stitched into the label of a $42 t-shirt that people suddenly cannot buy. So here is the question we have to answer before going any further. When was the last time Nike put a tennis player's name on a dedicated retail shirt, her own Nike court product, before that player had even reached the later stages of a Grand Slam? Hold on to that question because it is much stranger than it sounds, and the answer changes how you should understand everything that has happened over the last 2 weeks. If you are watching this video, you may have arrived expecting a story about the billboards, the Filipino diaspora, and the extraordinary New York moments surrounding Alex Eala. And that story is absolutely real, and it deserves to be celebrated. But if we stop there, we miss something much bigger. Because billboards, bus wraps, and Times Square displays are still marketing. They are things a company can purchase. Nike buys outdoor placements during the US Open. Nike wraps buses during major sporting events. Nike takes over Times Square during the Grand Slam. That is what a global apparel company does when one of the biggest sporting events of the year arrives in New York. What Nike does not routinely do is put a player's proper name on a dedicated retail product and commit that product to inventory before that player has established herself at the very highest level of the sport. Because signature product is different from advertising. Advertising is a campaign. Signature merchandise is inventory. It means manufacturing a specific design, assigning it a product code, producing units in multiple sizes, shipping them around the world, putting them into retail channels, and betting that consumers will want to wear the name of that specific athlete on their backs. That is not simply a billboard with Alex Eala's face on it. That is Nike making a much more tangible statement about where it believes Alex Eala belongs. That is a different kind of decision, made by a different room at Nike and governed by a completely different logic. The question is not, why is Nike putting Alex Eala in New York this week? The question is, why is Alex Eala's name on the back of a shirt this week? From the outside, those two things can look almost identical. They are not. And the moment you understand that distinction, the last 12 months of Alex Eala's career stop looking like a simple fairy tale and start looking like something else. A calculated business decision made by a very large company about a 21-year-old from Quezon City who, despite her rapid rise, had not yet reached a Grand Slam semifinal or final. Before we go any further, let's establish the fast facts, because this reframe only works if we agree on what can actually be verified. Alex Eala is 21 years old, was born in Quezon City, and has reached a career-high ranking of number 20 on the WTA Tour. She reached that ranking after winning the Mubadala City DC Open in Washington on August 3, 2026, defeating top seed Jessica Pegula in the final. That victory made her the first player from the Philippines, male or female, to win a WTA Tour singles title. On the current WTA rankings, her name sits inside the world's top 20. Her US Open player profile lists her season prize money at more than $1.5 million, And her deepest Grand Slam result to date is the fourth round of the Australian Open earlier this year. At the time of this story, she had not yet reached a Grand Slam quarterfinal. She was entering the 2026 US Open as a seeded player projected in the mid-teens. She arrived in New York on August 22, 2026, and the caption she posted on the way out the door was 3 simple words: "Coming for you, New York." Those are the facts. Everything I'm about to argue sits on top of them. Now let's look at the paradoxes, because you have to sit with these for a moment. None of them makes complete sense on its own. The first is the shirt itself on Nike.com, product code JU4850-010. There is a Nike Court Alex Eala tennis t-shirt. Not a promotional shirt with Alex's photograph on it. Not a general Filipino market tribute product. A Nike Court product with her name printed directly on the back, priced at $42. It went live on Nike.com during the week leading into the US Open and, according to reports from TMZ and the Philippine Daily Inquirer's US edition, sold out within minutes. Now, plenty of tennis players sell shirts. Plenty have their faces featured in advertising campaigns. Some receive signature apparel collections designed around their colors, style, or personality. But a named signature product, where the athlete's name is printed on the garment as the defining identity of the product, is a category Nike has historically used much more selectively. It has been associated with stars such as Serena Williams and Roger Federer, and Nike has created major signature products around players including Naomi Osaka and Emma Raducanu. And now that same commercial language is being used for a player with 1 WTA singles title and no Grand Slam quarterfinal appearance. Hold that thought. We will come back to it. The second paradox is the kit. Alongside the t-shirt, Nike released Alex Eala's US Open on-court dress, the Nike Court Slam dress in royal blue, priced at $140. It is her custom look for the tournament, and it has been covered in reporting ahead of the 2026 US Open. Now, a custom on-court kit for a Grand Slam is not remarkable by itself. Top players receive custom tournament outfits all the time. The interesting part is what happens when you put the kit next to the named retail shirt, the sold-out inventory, her rapidly rising ranking, her growing visibility, and the enormous Filipino audience surrounding her. Suddenly, these are no longer isolated pieces of apparel. They start to look like pieces of the same commercial strategy. Nike gives on-court kits to every athlete it dresses. So the unusual part is not the dress itself. It is the coordination, a custom tournament kit, a named retail signature product, reported outdoor placements across New York, and a global product page going live in the same week as her first-round match. That looks less like ordinary athlete support and more like a coordinated, multi-channel launch. And that is the kind of strategy Nike typically uses when it believes an athlete has the potential to become a major commercial property, not simply a promising player on the rise. So the question underneath the second paradox becomes sharper than the first. If Nike is treating Alex Eala's arrival at the US Open like a launch moment, what does Nike know, or believe it knows, about what comes next? Hold on to that question because we are coming back to it. The third paradox is the timing. Emma Raducanu received major named Nike product after winning the US Open. Naomi Osaka's signature commercial presence expanded after she had already established herself with Grand Slam victories. Coco Gauff's signature products followed her breakthrough into the sports elite. In many recent comparable cases, the named signature product came after the defining achievement. With Alex Eala, the sequence is different. She has not won a Grand Slam. She has not reached a Grand Slam final. And when this shirt appeared on Nike.com, her deepest Grand Slam run was still the fourth round. Yet there was her name, printed on a retail product in the same visual language Nike uses for the biggest stars in tennis. That is the third paradox, and it is the one everything else in this story hangs on. Because now the assumption begins to break. You may have been watching the billboards being shared, the shirts selling out, the Filipino diaspora filling New York sidewalks, and thinking that this is simply what happens when a rising star suddenly becomes globally popular. Alex is gaining attention, Nike is riding the wave, and the story is about visibility. That is the surface-level explanation. It is a good story, but it may not be the deeper story. Because Nike did not put Alex Eala's name on the back of a retail shirt simply because she was popular. Nike puts plenty of athletes into advertisements without ever turning their names into retail products. A signature product is a different kind of statement. Nike put Alex Eala's name on that shirt because Nike was placing a bet. The product is not simply a reward for what she has already accomplished. It is a position on what Nike believes she is about to become. Now read the calendar carefully. Alex won her first WTA singles title on August 3rd. She reached world number 20 on August 11th. She had already experienced the highs and lows of the North American hardcourt swing, including her loss to Belinda Bencic in Toronto and her Cincinnati campaign. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, Nike put her name, not just her face, into a global retail product cycle that would have required design work, approvals, sampling, manufacturing, inventory planning, and distribution well before the product appeared online. That matters because a shirt like this cannot be created overnight. The decision to make an Alex Eala signature product had to be made before the DC Open trophy was in her hands. Nike could not have known with certainty that she would win Washington. It could not have known exactly when she would reach world number 20. What it could know was that it had already identified something in her worth betting on. The DC title did not create the decision. It gave Nike the perfect moment to reveal it. And that changes the story completely. Nike was not looking at Alex Eala and saying, "She has arrived, so let's reward her." Nike was looking at Alex Eala and saying, "We think she is going somewhere, so let's get there early." The billboards, if they are indeed the billboards fans have been describing, are simply the visible layer of a decision Nike had already made when Alex Eala was still ranked outside the top 30. That is the reframe. What you are watching is not the birth of a marketing moment. You are watching the reveal of a bet that had already been placed. And that is a very different kind of story, and a much heavier one. So take a breath here, because the distinction matters. A billboard costs money. A signature product costs conviction. One buys attention. The other signals a stake. Now let's get to the proofs. There are 3 and they escalate. Proof number 1 is the retail evidence itself. The signature t-shirt on Nike.com is not simply a Filipino market special edition or a regional tribute product. It is part of Nike's US retail ecosystem and sits within the Nike Court product family, alongside the tennis apparel Nike creates around major tournaments. It is priced at $42, placing it within the general range of Nike's athlete-focused tennis merchandise. Most importantly, it sold out. The Philippine Daily Inquirer's US edition, citing TMZ, reported that the shirt sold out within minutes, while Yahoo Sports also covered the sellout. The royal blue dress, priced at $140, was also available through Nike's online store, but the t-shirt is the more revealing commercial signal because a t-shirt is the kind of product that can scale beyond hardcore tennis consumers. It is accessible, wearable, and easy for a much larger audience to buy. Nike made it, priced it as athlete-branded merchandise, put it into the market, and the market absorbed it almost immediately. That is not what a company does when it is merely testing whether a young player might have an audience. It is a launch built around the assumption that demand already exists. And Nike does not need to assume that every promising player will generate that level of demand. The company has hundreds of athletes across its sports ecosystem. The interesting decision is why Alex Eala was selected for this treatment at this exact moment. That is proof number 1. It is cold, commercial evidence, but it matters precisely because it exists in the retail system rather than simply in a promotional image. Proof number 2 is human. It is quieter than the retail evidence, but potentially even more revealing. Look at how Alex herself talks about the shirt. In her own social media promotion around the product launch, she shared the excitement of finally having her own shirt and encouraged supporters to get theirs. The message was simple: "I have my own shirt. You know what to do." That reaction matters because she understands what the product represents. This is not just another piece of Nike apparel with her photograph on it. Her name is on the garment. Fans can wear her name without needing to explain who she is. The product turns the athlete into something people can carry, wear, and display in the real world. And that is exactly where a sponsorship stops being merely about visibility and starts becoming a piece of identity.